Welcome everybody to Peaches and Power Bombs. My name is Tina Miller and this is Sarah Hirsch. We are the co-hosts of Peaches and Power Bombs and we are so happy to have you guys with us. And we have a special guest, our honorary third peach, the one, the only Tom Clark.
What's up? I hear the cat. Let's just let the cat have my chair and I'll take the night off.
Yes, our mascot Mina is in here and she's already made an appearance before we went live, so
of course.
Gotta have the mascot.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're excited. Are you excited about being here for however long it's going to take for us to get through this massive card?
Yeah, told me it's going to be a long one.
Yeah, it just ended a few minutes ago, so yeah.
Yep.
That was crazy.
Look at the camera. Say hi. Yeah, this is what we're doing. Everybody's on here and we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
Telling you, it's mascot right there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. See,
right,
we're live.
Now you people in the house.
Hey Shane, how are you?
A regular of both Tom Clark's main event and Peaches and Power Bombs, by the way.
Sugar Shane.
Oh, he's got a nickname. That's cool.
All my kids get nicknames. Almost all of them.
Yeah, he's okay. I mean, we have to fight over about Eddie Kingston sometimes, but it's all right.
You're gonna lose that, Shane, every time.
Oh yeah, especially here.
Oh, Tina made a logo and it was great.
Just wait, it's a surprise. It's a surprise for later on. Okay,
can't wait.
So let's get going with this massive card. We start with the controversial match of the weekend because Mr. MJF decided to no-show, I guess. I don't know at this point what's going on with him. His fan fest, he did not show up. They had to give all the refunds back, and they were saying that he had booked a flight for overnight, but that wasn't true. And he was there, and this match wasn't very long. It was kind of a squash and over. So what do you think, Tom, about what's going on with MJF?
It's interesting. 10 power bombs, or was it 12? What was the final tally?
I counted 10, but I could have counted wrong. So,
he did the right thing. The fan fest thing. But Tina, you've been to a fan fest. They're a little sad. The one in Chicago for All Out last year was not. It was sad. I mean,
the Revolution one wasn't that great either. It was.
I mean, 3 years in, they should have their stuff together for fan events. And they evidently don't. But yeah, he's I say on the main event all the time that never side with the $1 billion company. Don't side with the company. Always side with the talent. Unless the talent's done something egregious, unless it's sexual harassment or taking a cheap shot, there's exceptions, right? But I never side with the company over the talent. And I'm not going to do it here either. MJF should go for every dollar he possibly can. And I hope he gets one more than what he wants, whether it's with this company or the next company. And good for him. He did the right thing. He went out on his back. Good for him. That's the professional way to do it. You always go out on your sword when you're leaving a territory. It's the right thing to do. And if he's legit gone, all the best to him. He's a catch and he's a prize for anybody that gets him. Is that he going to do the right thing by him? That's a whole other show. But if it's what he wants, do I agree with the way some of the stuff was done? No, but it got results. And not having known Tony Khan personally, right, I would suspect he's a fair guy. He seems to be a fair guy. And I don't think this would have went down like this with the other company. It would have ended much differently. But I think Tony's big thing is, look, let's make the fans happy. Let's get this figured out. And I'm just speculating. I don't know. But let's make the fans happy. Let's get this match done. Then let's talk afterward, which hopefully that's what happened. But MJF's great. You guys know that. He's freaking awesome. So, yeah, I hope he gets everything he wants.
Right.
The thing, too, is that we already knew going in that Warlow was just gonna hand his ass to him, and you know, it, even though there was so much controversy or whatnot, I feel like Warlow was still able to take his time. He was soaking up every moment. You could tell he was just enjoying the moment because this was supposed to be career defining. Yes, Warlow is all elite, Mina. And so MJF did the right thing here. I'm glad Warlow didn't have to suffer from any of the disagreements him and MJF and Tony Khan may not have. So it got the job done. It made Warlow a star. Everybody knew he was gonna hand MJF his own ass, and so I was really surprised because before the event even began, Excalibur was saying, they were talking about the matches, and they were still advertising MJF versus Warlow. That was when I was like, you know what, he's there, because if he wasn't, they wouldn't have said anything. And I tell you what, the crowd ate him up. Oh my gosh.
He's so over. Wardlow is so over at this point. I mean, and I made the Batista comparison 6 months ago, I think it was. And and when I made it, I was like, I don't know that I'm the first guy that said it. I'm sure I won't be the last, and I'm not, because it fits in a lot of ways. I mean, I think and this is no disrespect to Dave Batista, right? But I think this is going to be a little different because I think Wardlow's capable of a little bit more than Batista was. Batista, very punchy kicky, which is fine. And a lot of it was his image, and God, the best look ever, apart from Sid Vicious. Who's ever had a better body for this business? It's insane. But yeah, Wardlow's, I think, a little bit more multifaceted, a little bit more capable. I would think. So I think he can do a little bit more. But yeah, you're right. That crowd loves him. Good for them. These are two stars. Wheeler Yuta, who was already very good, they've made Wheeler Yuta into a star. It didn't take that long. And they made Wardlow into a star also. It took a little bit longer, but it's because they wanted to. This is how you make stars, kids. This is how you do it. It's good on them. I love it.
Long-term storytelling right here, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think MJF knew that it was the right thing to do because MJF is already up there, right? So MJF could almost lose the next 3 matches and be just fine. 4 is probably pushing it, but he can lose and still be just fine. Now, if Wardlow would have lost this match, it would have almost ruined everything that they did. So they did the right thing right here. So yeah, Wardlow is just going to take off from here.
I was a little concerned because by that 7th or 8th power bomb, he's catching himself on his elbows, and I thought, ooh, because you hit those arms in just the right timing, and you're going to pop a shoulder out of socket. But at that point, I suspect he was hurting a little bit through no fault of Wardlow's. But nobody, our bodies are not made to hit the ground, much less that many times in a row. So
right.
I suspect he was hurting quite a bit there toward the end.
I'm sure he was. We have quite a few comments here. I think Shane is telling on people here. He says, Tom took Tina and I took Sarah in a match. I asked Tom who he would pick in a match, and he said Tina was evil, and I said Sarah was like Jericho. She is a wizard. What is this about?
He threw an intergender tag at me, and made me pick one of you guys. So I picked freaking Tina because Tina's got that look like I'm good and wholesome, but I've done a show with you one-on-one, and I see in your eyes, and I'm telling you, you got some heel in there. I know you do. Don't even lie.
So, I'm not going to lie.
I'll take the one. Sarah, I don't know if Sarah's got any heel in her, but you definitely do. So I'll take the one that's not afraid to cheat to win. You know what I mean? So
that's right. That's right.
Got to embrace it. Embrace the inner heel.
There was someone one time who had told me that I should train to be a manager because I could do like that Southern thing and come out with like a parasol or something and hit somebody with it when they're not looking. And I was like,
that's good.
that's an interesting thought, but I would have to take a bump every now and then, and I was like, I'm not willing to do that.
Well, managers bumping are not the same as pro wrestlers, and if managers are taking flat back bumps, they shouldn't be, because
Right.
technically speaking, managers are just regular dudes, unless they were a former worker and they want to bump, like Heenan wanted to bump. But back in my day, if I ever got involved physically, I wasn't a technically trained professional wrestler. So if I wanted to bump, I would just get roughed up and just fall, because that's, oh man, we're breaking kayfabe here, folks.
Oh
But
no.
you know what I'm saying? Just fall, because if you're bumping too much, it's obvious. Like if you've seen them pull a plant out of the crowd, all this fan's gonna get in the ring, and then the next thing you know, he's bumping. Come on, it's not a fan, and we all know better. But like the minute that once someone starts bumping, you're like, come on. So no, I don't think you have to bump.
Cool.
I always wanted to
I'm
be
too
a
old
ballet
now,
when
so.
I first started watching wrestling. I always wanted to. It's not too late, I guess.
Never too late.
Shannon, our other regular here.
Hey, Shannon.
And Julian says hello too.
Hey, Julian. How are you doing?
And Earl says, I'm disappointed they gave both Britt and Adam the Owen Hart tournament win for both men and women. And we'll get to that in a little bit, but I don't know. I was okay-ish with it. Out of the people that they gave us in the finals, I was okay with it.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that here shortly.
And Julian says it's not cheating if you don't get caught.
That's right.
All right, let's get moving on to the next one. How did y'all feel about this? Because I thought it was terrible.
Well, you start. You're starting it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy looked bad, and not like mentally or like that. I meant physically. He did not look like he was doing so well. So I was more concerned about that than anything else. Was like, oh no, he's going to get really hurt, because he's already really hurt. So I don't know. I didn't enjoy this match at all. And I thought the build was rushed for what it should have been.
Is that the cat wreaking chaos? Is that what I'm hearing? Good Lord.
Yes.
Wow. I was making that up, but that's awesome. Cat's like, pay attention to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
This match has happened before. We've seen it before in other companies. And the thing about it is, at some point, expectations may not be the same as what you actually get. So maybe it won't be. You've got it built up in your mind the way you think it's going to be, and then you actually get the thing in front of you, and it's not quite what you may think. It was rough. It was definitely rough in spots. I don't know if it was as bad as some critics online have made it out to be. It's not the worst match I've ever seen, but
No, not by a long shot.
No, I've watched a lot of WWE too, so
they had some good highlights.
Yeah,
there was a few good spots that were highlighted, and I would have liked to have seen more of a build up as well. I think that's the main thing that took away from the match to me.
I think Jeff was out of sorts. I don't know what that means, but he was out of sorts. His gear giving him a problem was not. That was one thing. I think when
his boot wasn't all the way buckled up.
When he perched up on that, when he perched up on that top turnbuckle, I think that's what you were saying was the gear. I don't think it was him. But to be fair, you wear the same gear every match. Let's get this figured out. Now, if it was something freak accident that happened, that something busted on his boot, that's fine. But I don't know. But that's me throwing shade. I don't know. But I'm with you. It didn't feel right. I didn't hate the match. I'm more apt to give these four guys a little bit more leeway than I would somebody else. And the whole thing with Jeff coming out of the other company, the way he was sort of treated at the end, which was utterly ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm not in Jeff's life. I don't know what the dude's doing or maybe not doing or whatever. Do I think there's something sinister going on? I personally don't, but I speak from a level of ignorance, so I don't know. But hopefully not, because I love both him and Matt to death.
Oh
so,
yeah.
You know what? Honestly, let's run this match back. Let's run it back in a month or two when we can get this one out of people's heads, and let's see if we can do a little bit better. And I'll be honest with you, if they're not happy, And if they're not happy, we'll see it again. I'll bet you. If the 4 guys are not happy, they'll run it back, and maybe they should.
More or less, it's kind of like they kind of needed something to do for Double or Nothing, but at the same time, it's kind of one of those things you could make something out of it. So, like you said, might see something again, may not.
Yeah.
All right. Some more comments. Our friend Ron.
Hey, Ron.
What's up, dude?
Yep.
Yeah, Ron was at MomoCon this weekend. He met my brother and Eric Nelson. They had a great turnout there. So that was pretty exciting. I haven't heard all the stories. I've heard some, but not all. But I'm glad everybody had a good time and it was a good turnout.
Nice.
Glad to see Ron made it there. He was actually live commentating, and so I was like, look at him.
Yeah.
He'll be at HVW Arrival on Saturday, June 18th as well. Shameless plug.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah,
So,
he's
awesome.
He's kind of the heart and soul of the real wrestling community. Both him and I help run that page when I'm not having health issues anyway. I haven't really been all that active lately on there, but yeah, we help run that page together, and he's always really upbeat and positive, so he's a cool guy. Chris says hello.
What's up, man?
From the Straight Up Wrestling Show.
Jeff Hardy is worn down. The years are catching up with him. Yeah. Well,
I mean,
he's killed himself for 20 years now, so
you can only throw yourself in front of a moving bus so many times before you can't get up anymore. So
yeah.
That's Jeff.
He probably still wasn't recovered from that Darby match, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shannon's right.
And Harry is here too, saying hello to everybody.
Straight Up Wrestling Show. Both of them are in the house. Hey, guys.
What's up, man?
And same thing, Jeff, with being all over the place and not being able to move, it killed some of the action in the match. And someone's saying hey to you, Tom. Forget us. They're saying hey to you.
Will, be nice. Tell the ladies hello.
Shane says that the Hardys and the Bucks was just one disappointment, and Michael is saying hello.
Michael King, hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
my brother texted me earlier. You need to be friends with Michael King. Okay. I haven't got a chance to talk to him yet. I'm talking about my brother, because I called him and he didn't answer. I'm like, anyways.
All right, moving on to the TBS Championship with Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay. And then we had quite a few. This was busy, very busy. A lot of stuff going on. At the end of this match, after Jade won and retained her title, Stokely Holloway, who was formerly known as Malcolm Bevins, is that correct?
Yeah, he was the manager of Diamond Mine in NXT.
Okay, because I'm gonna be honest. I don't watch NXT anymore, so
you're not missing anything.
Yeah. He aligns with Jade, and then Athena, formerly known as Ember Moon, also made her debut. So, what did people think?
That was pretty good. I kind of forgot all about Athena at one point, and when the graphics flash Fallen Goddess, I was like, hell yeah, I know who this is. Jade's had some battles. She's 32-0 now. Athena gonna give her a run for her money.
I believe they probably sat on Athena for a little while before they brought her out, but that's just a guess. I don't know. I think they're probably looking for the right time. I don't know if this was it. Like you said, it was very busy. It was a good call. I hate joining the chorus of people on certain topics. Jade is still rough, and she's gotten over. People cheer despite her inefficiencies in the ring. But Anna Jay's catching grief for this match, and she shouldn't, because I don't think it's on Anna's plate. I think this was all Jade. And I have spoke to people and debated people who vehemently disagree with me, and that's perfectly fine. This is all subjective. But from what I see where I'm sitting, she's, again, I've said this before, what are you doing in the meantime, before you're touching each other, what are you doing? What is your body language? Are you hitting your marks? Are you getting there when you're supposed to? I see a lot of hesitation. I see a lot of I'm waiting to get there. I see a lot of am I supposed to be there now? I see a lot of I'm really, 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 really thinking. Now, is it her fault? No. She was thrown on TV before she was ready. She's still not ready, in my opinion. Main event, pay-per-view stage, no. TV, sporadically, yes. But she's learning on the fly in the ring in front of a lot of people. So I'm not going to throw shade at her. It's not really on her. But this match was rough. This was not easy to watch for me.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Well, I think Jay gets better every time. Not saying she's like amazing, great, Thunder Rosa's Serena Deeb level, which we'll get to later. But you can tell when she gets in there. It's kind of like I think we've compared it to like how Trish was back in early 2000s WWE. It's just you're rolling with it, and I feel like every time she gets in the ring, she's probably learning something and applying it. That's kind of what I see. I thought the match was fine. It wasn't the best match ever. I really like the Isle of the Storm. I wrote that down. One of her, I guess her finishing moves, Jade. I thought that was nice, but yeah, due time, I think Jade will really be a whole lot better. But you could tell that she's still working at it. I mean, she's not terrible, but I mean, I know that's got to be a tall order for her to go out there and put on a show, and you're still pretty much a trainee.
Yeah, well, unlike WWE, where they have now they have the developmental thing in NXT to be able to work out their kinks, and before that they had they still have them as house shows where they're not on TV and they can work out everything that they still haven't figured out yet. And she doesn't have any of that. So she has to figure everything out on TV. And I think it's a little unfair to her that she has to do that, because she does have this presence and this personality. She has charisma out the wazoo. So obviously, if I was running the show, I would want to get her on TV as soon as possible as well. I do think it was a little too soon, but at the same time, I understand where they're coming from. But she just doesn't get that same opportunity as everybody else of being able to work out everything before she's put in this spotlight and this big stage. She's pretty much learning in front of all of us.
And I want to bring this up too, because Tom was saying, there's you were mentioning there was little spots of, is this my move? This is where I need to be. I think there's a lot of self-doubt, and that's going to be pretty prevalent, especially when, you're an up-and-comer. So there's probably more self-doubt than anything. And, once she gets that confidence down in the ring to be able to, be more cohesive. So perhaps that'll be, that'll happen sooner rather than later.
I hope so, because I don't think this match did Anna any favors, and Anna has improved tremendously, but I couldn't tell on Sunday night. It was, I thought it actually hurt her. I don't know that any of it hurt Jade, because we all kind of know, but I think that I guess one of my big takeaways is how much experience does Anna Jay have in working with somebody not as good as she is, or with somebody as new as Jade? If the answer to that is not much, then maybe she doesn't know when to help the other person cover, what to do to slow things down, because the number one enemy of all of this, when things are going the wrong way, stop. Go on the mat, get a headlock, talk. And if only for a second, let the other person get their breath, get their nerves calmed down if that's what's going on. Let them relax for a few minutes, and then say, okay, reset. Let's go back and run the spot again. But I didn't see any of that. it felt like go, 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 now, now, now. So no disrespect to Anna, but if that's what's going on, is that she didn't maybe not know enough, but wasn't in her head enough to go, I got to stop this now. Let's slow down now. Let's reset. It's okay to get lost. It happens to the best of talents. But like for it to keep happening like that, I'm making this match sound like a train wreck. I don't know that it was. It was just rough.
I don't think it was. I've seen worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just a lot of inexperience.
And then the chaos in the match too.
Yeah. Yeah, inexperience definitely won this match. It wasn't really any of the girls. So Will is saying hi to us now.
Hi.
See there.
Acknowledge us.
Acknowledge us.
Okay. Michael says they completely misused Ember Moon. And Shannon disagrees and says that it wasn't a bad match. Jade has improved. She's learning from the best in Bryan Danielson. The best part was Athena.
Cool.
And Christopher says that Jade has improved.
I got pop vinyls that can work better than Eric Watts, dude. That's a low bar. That's a low bar you're setting. I'm just saying.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
And
That
Harry
was
is
funny.
Harry's saying the same thing, that he's seen improvement in Jade, and no disrespect to anyone who thinks differently, but she's definitely not the same wrestler we saw last summer. That is true.
100% agree. Couldn't agree more. You're right. I just think there's still a lot of, I don't know. And you know what? There's no good answer because they have tied the cart to her and she's pulling it. Let her pull it. It's too late now. I mean, the time to really think this thing through was a year ago, and they evidently didn't. They just kind of went forward. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Moving on to our next match, the House of Black versus Death Triangle. I have not seen this match all the way through because I was on time constraint this afternoon, so something had to give. So I decided to skip this one, and I should have skipped a different match than this one, because I'm very about the match I saw. So, how was it, guys? Was it good? I like the end. I heard about the ending, so I know what happened with that. So, Julia Hart, after 5 million years of teasing it, finally turned on everyone and joined the House of Black.
Yeah, she cost Pop the win. And the House of Black always wins. I really like the story that was told during this match because House of Black and then everybody in the Death Triangle, they've been kind of at it for a while. And I really like the psychology at play. You could tell Death Triangle did their homework. And they, at one point they had Malachi Black singled out. And that was a really big moment. And I totally forgot about Julia Hart, so when that happened, I was like, oh man, dang. For me, I enjoyed it. I like the fact that, like I said, the members of Death Triangle did their homework. They were able to figure out how to isolate Malachi Black and actually kind of take him down. But, unfortunately, they're just one step ahead.
This is fun pro wrestling. Pro wrestling's supposed to be fun, and these 6 guys are freaking great.
Yes.
And I hope they work each other 20 more times before the year's out, because nothing they do is bad, and nothing they do looks weird or is slow. And everything looks like it hurts, and everything looks like it's awesome. This is like the best action movie come to life you've ever seen. I can't endorse this enough. I am in all day. None of these guys need belts.
It was action packed.
Yeah, they don't need belts. They don't need managers. They just ring the bell and just leave them alone. And this is what happens.
Let them leave it all out in the ring.
This is what happens when you let pro wrestlers who know what they're doing just go do their thing. And I loved it. These 6 guys are, I don't know if I would say this is the Horseman against Dusty and his guys kind of good, but man, it's close for me. Like this was definitely one of my favorites. So good.
Yeah,
So
it was
good.
really
I
good.
will go back and see it because
Yes.
You done missed out.
I know.
The Canadian
thought-
destroyer on the apron was sick. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
oh man, it looked
they're
good.
all so good.
So good. Oh my gosh.
I'm a big fan of this.
I thought I was going to miss the whole thing because Bleacher Report and their website and their app was horrible to me on Sunday and yesterday too. So
I had no problems this time. Now, the last time they ran an event, what was it that happened? I could watch it on one device, but not all of them.
yeah,
And I had to mess.
yeah.
If you ever have this happen again, message them directly on Twitter, and they'll usually answer. Usually,
Hmm.
whoever's running their Twitter will usually answer. So they
Well,
answered me.
I didn't message them directly, but I did like pin their because they made me miss 90% of Eddie's match on Sunday, and I was ticked. I was like, so I was mad tweeting them all through.
I don't blame you.
the so,
If it takes anything, if there's anything that takes Tina outside that comfort zone, it's Eddie Kingston.
yeah, I get yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Will Moore says hello to everybody.
Hey, how are you doing?
What's up?
I decided to combine the two Owen Hart finals matches just to save on time. So Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole, with Adam Cole winning the men's side, and Britt Baker, DMD versus Ruby Soho with Britt Baker. The Coles have it, everybody. They took the gold. So with the 4 people that they gave us, I was okay with who won. I really wish that Dax Harwood would have actually won the whole thing.
That would have been awesome.
But they decided not to do that. So
my pick was Kyle O'Reilly. So yeah.
Both of these matches were good though.
Yes. Adam Cole, he has Samoa Joe's number, but Samoa Joe didn't go down without a fight. And usually that's the case. Whenever Samoa Joe loses, he didn't go down without a fight. I mean, he put his all in there. And honestly, I think between the two of them, Adam Cole probably needed the win more. It doesn't hurt. I don't feel like it hurts Samoa Joe that much. And plus, him and Adam Cole and Britt Baker, both of them had Owen Hart tributes with their gear, so that was a nice touch. And Ruby Soho did do a nice sharpshooter on Britt. That was good as well. So, I think one thing I'll mention with Britt Baker and Ruby Soho, I feel like they're parallel in a way because Britt Baker, for a while there, was so close yet so far for the AEW women's title. And then, all of a sudden, she turned heel and then she got hurt. And it actually worked out more in her favor. So I think they put emphasis on Ruby Soho, her not, so close yet so far. So I feel like down the road, it might be soon, I feel like Ruby Soho is eventually going to turn heel because, she can't, like I said, there's some respect there between her and Britt Baker. If you've seen the promos before the show. So I think, it might be a thing of, and then I think Britt did shake her hand after the match.
She did.
So that's where I got that. I was like, down the road, she's probably going to go down the same route Britt did, minus the injury, hopefully. So we'll see.
I'd picked Cole and Ruby, so I wasn't too far off. You're right. Both matches were really, really good. Britt and Ruby could feud forever. And not to, we always compare because it's natural. We do it with wrestling and movies and comic books and TV shows. We do it all the time. But like if there's a Trish versus Lita in that company, it could be Britt and Ruby, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's we'll see when they decide to circle back to it. Adam Cole is Adam Cole, and Chris, love you, my man, but I disagree with Cole not being booked properly. Uh, Cole is always going to have an asterisk by his name because of his size, and Cole knows that. So anytime you book Cole against anyone bigger than him, the minute Cole gets an advantage, it's going to look or smell like, wait a minute, what? But Cole's very good, and what Cole does in the ring, from where I'm sitting, his offense is good enough that I didn't disbelieve anything I saw. Now that's me. I mean, Christopher's got his own tape, but from where I'm sitting, I didn't disbelieve anything I saw. I mean, it was.
Didn't Bobby Fish interfere in this?
Yes.
So he didn't win cleanly either. So there's
Right.
that aspect of it too. It's not like Joe looked horrible by losing
Right.
to a little dude. So
I made a little note on the side that I put that I could see Kyle O'Reilly costing Adam Cole the match, but obviously that didn't happen. It's something I like to see. Y'all know I love Kyle O'Reilly, so
Yeah, I thought it
Versus-
was really good.
I don't get them as trying to be the power couple on TV though.
That's
This
us.
was just-
That's us calling them that, kids. That's not the
Yeah.
company calling them that. That's us
No.
calling them that.
give us about 5 minutes and we'll talk about another power couple.
Oh,
So,
that's
the
the match
present
I should have skipped
Yeah.
right away because it was
the presentation of the belts and the trophy, I thought it was beautiful. I really
Yeah.
did. Very emotional. It was a beautiful moment. And if you noticed, and I saw it later online, and I was like, oh yeah, that looked familiar. The titles are they're not a replica, but they're like kind of like the Stampede Wrestling titles from back in the
Nice.
day.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, that, because I was like, oh, those look so good, and I'm like, then I saw that later. Somebody pointed it out. I was like, guess why? I was like, I knew there was something to it. But yeah, it looks like it a lot, but it's obviously new and has color and really nice.
And I was glad to see Martha Hart get some time on TV to talk. And
that was nice.
she had the funny hat, but she was awesome. And I'm like, if anybody bumps up against Martha Hart having talking time on TV with a funny hat on, get over yourselves. This family has been through so much because of a certain company's ineptitude. Sorry, I'll say it. Father, husband, son, lost, never coming back.
Yeah.
Let her have some time. She should have had this long time ago. Good
Yeah.
on AEW from doing the right thing for that family. Good
I
for them.
love the fact that Martha found joy. She was happy. And I don't know if anybody noticed it, but when she was going to the back, she was like dancing. Oh,
I saw that.
So
Yeah.
cute. It was so cute. And I was like, you know what? You know, it was never about that she hated wrestling. She has every right to feel the way that she did. And,
Absolutely.
just to see her happy and being so thankful for the fans and stuff. Like I said, from start to finish, that was just beautiful to see, because I feel like in a way, she feels good about pro wrestling again, more or less. And I think that's an amazing thing to see.
Yeah. I've always had a problem with people saying she needs to get over it and let them induct Owen Hart into the WWE Hall of Fame. And I've always said she has every right to feel the way that she does. Every right. If that was my dad or if that was my husband, I wouldn't get over that either, because that's someone you love that is no longer here.
And too, when I was younger, I was kind of like back and forth, like, I know they didn't mean it, but at the same time, I didn't really understand the circumstances. But between Dark Side of the Ring and her interview with Chris Jericho, like, completely changed my mindset. And I was like, oh yeah, yeah. I was like, thank you, Martha Hart, because, like, she talked about it when she was ready.
Yeah.
So,
Shannon, I do not have an Adam Cole button, but we will make one just for you.
I told her that she's got to make a because I'm Chris Jericho or I'm Chris Jericho because I'm a wizard.
Yeah, we'll have to do that too.
Fair warning: if you go down this path, there's no turning back. Because I only started with one.
We have plenty of buttons. It's just not the ones everybody's asking for.
So you do buttons? How did I not know this? Oh my god!
Hang on. Let me get one. Hold on.
Give me a good one.
Yeah, hang on.
All right.
Hold on. Let me see if I can get it. Hold up. Is it on here? Or
this is just for Shane because I know that he'll.
Yeah, because I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think I can.
Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Don't fight me!
Love it. Love it. That's awesome.
I don't think I can get into sound clips, but I did see Tina's new ticker and it was great. That's why I was laughing.
Just wait. We're going to see it. We're going to see it.
Yes, when we talk about it, you got to bring it up. That's going to be great.
I should have skipped this match because I hated every bit of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first thing I wrote down on my notes, did we need that?
No.
The power couple entrance? No. I really did like the opening with Ethan Page and Sammy G. I did like that. But other than that, well, Kazarian did a nice what did I put? Diamond cutter? I was marking it out, couldn't remember. But he did a nice move on Scorpio Sky. It was beautiful. And with that being said, throughout the whole match, you could tell Kazarian was just getting even more pissed off because Sammy G was all up Ty the whole time. And I was like, okay, I'm down for a Kaz and Sammy G feud because Sammy G needs his ass whooped. And I'm like, dude, you know better.
I have one note.
Oh my God.
Thank God it's over.
Yeah.
That's the note.
When the best part of the match is the end, that tells you something.
It's kind of like I'm just clapping because I'm clapping because it's over.
Yeah, this match was completely unnecessary. They did not need to do this, especially on the pay-per-view.
Well,
why?
They've been building toward it, so I was okay with it there. I just thought it should have been on the buy-in and not the main card. Maybe the buy-in, but the shame of it is everybody in this match is pretty good, with the exception of Paige Van Zandt because she's still learning. Right. It occurred to me that she thinks she did very well. That's sort of her body language, expression on her face. I'm like, wow, you think you did really well. That's interesting. But everybody in this match. Nobody in this match I can complain about, but do they all have chemistry together as 6 3-on-3? Wasn't feeling it.
Was it bad that I popped when Sammy G kicked Ty Conti in the face?
She took that, boy. That looked good.
She took that real good, boy.
Another thing that I don't understand here is that who were we supposed to cheer for and who were we supposed to boo? Because everybody was acting like a heel except for maybe Frankie Kazarian. I think he was the only face in the whole thing.
I put Sammy G and Ty Conti should just do the heel turn and be done with it. They're already there.
Yeah. I did like her Maleficent outfit though.
That was cool.
But that's the only thing I liked about her.
And I think Sammy is over. I think Sammy's over now. I just don't think it's the way people want him to be over. I mean,
him being what Ty doesn't do him any favors.
No, but the definition of not over is when you come out, there's no reaction, or if it's ambivalent, or it's barely anything. That's not over. Sammy's over. It's just not to the degree that we'd like him to be. It's not the way we'd like him to be because we like him. He is a white meat baby face. Just looking at him, the whole time he's in the inner circle, I thought they're wasting this kid. He's a white meat baby face. Look at him. Look at him. He's too pretty to be a heel. Like he should be a face that's, trying to get to the rope. He's like what Ricky Morton used to do, where he's reaching out to the crowd to try to get help from the dude in the front row. Like, help me get to the rope. And people felt that in their soul. Like that, Sammy's got that, but they run him heel and it's whatever. But I think that there's an opportunity, in my opinion, there's an opportunity missed there that you could tell a great story with a punishing heel who's big and nasty and mean, and little tiny Sammy, who's the white meat babyface, is chasing the title. I think that's an opportunity missed. Maybe we'll see it one day.
I'm going to respectfully disagree with you.
Okay.
Sammy has the most punchable face in pro wrestling.
Well, I get it. I get what you're saying. Because he's got that look and he's got the attitude. Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of impartial.
It's all right here. It's like, you look like that jerk from high school that I just wanted to punch in his face. I'm sorry. So.
I'm kind of impartial to Sammy G because when we went to Dynamite in Atlanta, Alex had recorded a part of Sammy versus Tony Nese, and Sammy put it on his blog. Contacted him on Instagram directly and put it on his vlog. So
nice.
I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm impartial to Sammy G a little bit.
Well, when it's the babies that are involved, you can't help it.
I thought that was cool. I was like, man, you did something that I couldn't even do yet. Good. See, he's learning from the best. He's doing more than me.
See, the first time I took Bria, who was 7 at the time, and now she's 14, dear God. We took her to Monday Night Raw for the first time when she was 7, and she had a Bailey shirt on, and she had a little sign that said, "Let's go, Sasha." And both Sasha and Bailey retweeted her picture. Aww. So I will love them too forever because of that reason. So yeah, when it's the babies involved.
Yeah.
Oh man, we got tons of comments. I can't get to all these guys. I'm sorry. I will say this. Shane is now on my side. Thank you.
I'm telling you, he's growing on Shane.
We'll talk about this in a little bit. I think this will happen eventually.
Yes.
Just not yet. It does not need to happen yet. Shannon says that the best part was Ty.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to say this. If Sammy didn't leave his wife or girlfriend for Ty, Sammy would still be over. We don't know if he left her for her. That's their private business. They claim they didn't. So
yeah, I was about to say Ty took it upon herself to go on social media and say that didn't happen, but who knows?
And there we go. Sorry, my mouse was messing up. What's up, Tom, Tina? How are y'all doing? I'm guessing she meant to say hello to you, Sarah. I'm doing pretty good. A little under the weather. Oh, well.
She's under the weather. She gets a pass.
Yes. We hope you feel better soon.
Yes.
Okay, this was probably my favorite traditional professional wrestling match on the card. AEW Women's Title, Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb.
Yes, this was one of my favorites too. I put NWA girls. This match exemplifies that.
Okay. I think I might have gotten the.
You skipped one, but we'll go back to it.
We'll go back to it.
I didn't skip it. I think I just put it in the wrong place.
It's okay.
It's okay.
So it's right below it. So we're good.
But this match was amazing. So let's talk about it.
We're live, baby. There's no mistakes when you're live.
That's right.
It's all good.
All right. We did it on purpose.
That's right.
Because the next match was just kind of thrown together anyway. So this was actually how to build. So the placement of this match was a little meh. But I will say this, that because of the Ty Conti match kind of brought the crowd down, and then maybe the Kyle O'Reilly and Darby Allin match brought the crowd down a little bit too, just because they were just kind of thrown together. I think the ladies did a really good job of bringing everybody back.
Yes.
And that they have a very special chemistry that I haven't seen
Yes.
in a long time now. I unfortunately have not seen their matches on NWA, so this was my first time seeing them wrestle. So it was my first time seeing that chemistry. So I was just blown away by that.
I like to shout out to Dustin Rhodes from Thunder Rosa. That was nice.
Very cool.
And Serenity definitely gave Thunder Rosa the run for her money. Oh man, if Thunder Rosa was dethroned, I would have been okay with it because Serena Deeb is on fire. Like she is, to me, she has never looked better, and I'm like, you need to put the title on her. I don't know when you want to do it. I want to see her with have a run with the title one day.
I'm just reading the comments. Anyway, no, I really enjoyed this. I mean, I don't know how you get better than Serena versus Thunder. And the best part is they can do this match as many times as they want to, and it'll always be good.
Yes.
And Serena should never be a babyface again. She looks like she's so mad, like she's ticked off all the time. And I'm like, man, I don't want to get on her bad side. She looked like she'd bomb me out for something. But I thought it was I thought it was really good. I thought they both delivered. I mean, yeah, but to be fair, on a card this big with as many stars as they had on the show, where is the best spot? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if there is a best spot. But no, you're right. It was tough. But no, it's they both delivered. We knew they would. They're both pros. Thunder Rosa is just Thunder Rosa has been in this business for like 15 minutes. It's not like she's a 10-year veteran. She's not. So people forget that, and it's crazy how far she's come in a little amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
But Serena Deeb is a veteran. Serena could probably train men. She probably has.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's very, very good. So I'm all for seeing this again.
Thunder Rosa to me has a natural talent. But yeah, oh my gosh, her and Serena, it was just magic in the ring. I was just sitting there like mesmerized, like this is beautiful. Like I would put this up there with one of my favorite women's matches ever because it was really good. And it wasn't you didn't have to do anything extreme or anything. This was just a good hands down wrestling match. And I will bring this up right quick, Tina, if you don't mind. Shanna says one of my favorite parts of the pay-per-view was the multiple women's matches is a step in the right direction. And with this match, absolutely. Yeah. I just wanted to say that.
I put bad placement just because the two matches before them really brought the crowd down.
Mm-hmm.
And it is hard to get them back, especially women's matches. It's hard to get the crowd back. But that magic, they both have that magic, and they just brought them back into it. So I want to commend them for being able to do that.
Yeah, I agree with Ron. Match of the night, bar none.
Yeah.
House of Black, Death Triangle is one of my favorites too. I don't know if I could pick.
Okay. Yep, just my little mistake of the placement, but I did have it on here. Kyle O'Reilly versus Darby Allin. It was a good match. It just wasn't necessary for the pay-per-view.
I think they just wanted to get them on the card, which is, that's fine. For me, this reminded me a lot of CM Punk and Darby Allin. And, there was nothing extremely grandiose. You didn't have to do that. And for what it was, I thought it was good. A lot of technical wrestling. And y'all know I love Kyle O'Reilly. He is just so talented, so amazing to me. But yeah, it was nothing extremely grandiose or anything like that. It was more or less, I guess, Darby avenging for Sting. So
they I didn't realize how much chemistry they were going to have, honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
Good
I know
chemistry.
how much I was going to like this. This was very good. This was hard hitting. This was, Darby throwing himself at stuff and landing hard, which is going to be the name of his book. But it's what he does. But man, O'Reilly is a very believable foe for someone like Darby, I think,
I just
because
love him.
Darby throwing himself at somebody who is legitimately tough like Kyle is. I think that's a really, really good match. And I mean, you can tell. I mean, Darby trusts everybody's in the ring with, because I don't know how often you see Darby really, really not take incredible chances, but he takes more and more chances with guys he trusts. Catch me. That's the thing, kids. Freaking catch me. Don't let me get killed. And a lot of it's out of your hands when you're working Darby, because Darby just goes. But like you can tell they trust each other, and I thought it was really good. And I keep saying this, but man, I'd like to see some rematches out of this show. And usually I'm not really up for that because the other company does it so freaking much.
Yeah.
But this is another match. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. And I'd like
to see this
title
with
involved.
a proper build and not just thrown together.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the hold was, but there was this spot where Darby flung himself out of the ring onto Kyle O'Reilly, and he catches him in that hold and holds him there for a while. I thought that was beautifully executed by both guys. So yeah.
So well done.
I had something written down. I can't remember what it was. Darby Allin is proving to me that he can actually wrestle, and he's not just a spot fest guy too.
Yeah, he can work. Darby can work. He doesn't get enough credit for that, but he should. Darby can work. It's just that he's so small. And, I don't know this to 100% be the case, but much like Foley had to compensate for not having $1 million body. So the way Foley compensated was, I'm going to throw myself onto the ground as much as I can. So Darby doesn't have $1 million body. He's very small. Well, I'll make up for it. I'm just going to throw myself at stuff, laying hard. So that's what they do. So, if there's a good thing to be said about that sort of gimmick, if there's anything good, because there's probably not, because in 20 years he's going to be hurting bad. He's not hurting now.
It'd be like Jeff.
Yeah. But if there's a good thing to be said, once you're over, you keep it. If Darby never threw himself off anything again, I don't know if anybody's really going to have a problem with it. They'll reminisce. I remember when Darby used to throw himself off stuff. That was fun. But I don't think anybody would care because he's so over with the crowd. So once you get to that level, I think it's hard to lose it unless you got a company actively pushing you down, which Darby doesn't have there. They love putting him in the spotlight. So I enjoyed this match.
I think that's one of the mistakes that Jeff Hardy makes. He thinks that that's all he has, and it's really not. I think if Jeff Hardy would just go into the ring and wrestle a traditional match, he would be just as over as if he would climb up to the Empire State Building and fall off of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And because at this point, that's the only thing he hasn't jumped off of.
Yeah.
I've been in plenty of locker rooms before and been involved in situations where the show was held like outside or whatever in some parking lot or something. And the first thing you'll see, and you know who to pick in the locker room, X number of guys are looking up going, what can I jump off of? Oh, can I jump off that? Like just trying to figure out how some guys are just wired that way. Like some guys do it because they want to make the highlight reel, but other guys want to do it because the idea is I want to give fans their money's worth. And plus, if I do this enough, my star rises. Yeah. So maybe down the road, this next promoter will pay me a little bit more than what I'm asking or what I usually ask because he sees what I did here and I'm exciting fans and I got the biggest pop of the night.
Uh-oh. We're losing Tom.
We're losing Tom.
Oh, no.
He'll be back in a minute.
Hopefully.
While we wait for Tom to come back, we're going to... Brino?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but he's saying hello. Shane says, I'm getting to the point where I think AEW doesn't know how to book Darby. I can see that, but I think they're doing okay with Darby. Darby is still one of their biggest stars.
Oh, yeah, he still gets a big pop and whenever he comes out. And...
Tom, if you need to exit out and come back in, feel free to do so.
Yeah, he'll jump back in when it gets...
Alma, I see your comment about the Anarchy and the arena match. I'm gonna hold off on that. Ron
It's
says
pronounced
it's
Brino.
Okay, thank you. I'm so sorry. Chris says, to me, that was that match, the match of the night, hands down. I'm guessing he means the Kyle O'Reilly and Darby Allin match. Shannon says, that dive he did had me a little worried he got hurt. Yeah, it was a good match. I'm trying to hold off until Tom can come back to move on.
Yeah, sorry. I had
Oh,
to,
yeah, because it's the big one. We have to wait for him.
Oh, yes, we have to. Yeah, sorry I had to step away a minute ago.
He's back. Yay.
I forgot I was warming up a candle and I was starting to smell it. And I was like, oh, I forgot to change out because we were talking before the show and I kind of got caught up in that. So we're not going to burn the house down here tonight. So that's good.
Okay, are you guys ready? Momentarily, the name of the podcast is going to change because there is a joke the three of us have that we should change our name to the Eddie Kingston Love Fest. So for the next couple minutes, this is not Peaches and Power Bombs. This is the Eddie Kingston Love Fest. And if you all will give me just a second, we will change our stuff around.
This is commitment to a gimmick right here.
Yeah. Isn't Tina cute? Look at the ticker.
That's the neon green's blinding me. I need some sunglasses. Where are some sunglasses at? Woo!
Okay. So
you don't have to change it. I'm just playing. I love it. I love Eddie, man. If you don't love Eddie, what's wrong with you?
Shane said, "Are we going to have an Eddie Kingston sing-along?"
Shane's a crotchety old man. Don't pay any attention to him. I'll go first. Let me go first. Tina, I know he's your guy, but I'm gonna go first.
Okay, go ahead.
I love this match.
Yes.
When they let Wild Thing play the second time, I went, they're gonna play it again. Oh,
that was great.
I sat there and I was like, nah, it's fun. And then they started to play like 2.5. I was like, nah, it's fun. I just let it go. This match, from the moment it started to the moment it ended, was over. They loved I can't wait to talk to Phil. Phil was there. I can't wait to talk to Phil and ask him, tell me about this.
Yeah.
Because they loved nothing these guys didn't work. And kudos to the camera crew. Shout out to the crew. They caught everything, I feel like. And if not, it wasn't for lack of trying. Well done on production, especially on this match. Whole show.
This was well executed from start to finish.
So good. And the crowd booed the end. Know why? I think it's because they weren't ready for it to be over because they were just getting wound up.
They were picking on Jericho Appreciation Society with the matching white outfits. I saw Backstreet Boys comparisons and Clockwork Orange.
Lean into it. Lean into it.
It
That's
was
what
hilarious.
They're doing.
It was like I saw this comment on Instagram and I wanted to bring this up. It said this was a nice touch. The sports entertainers, they were wearing matching gear, and then the pro wrestlers just wearing like t-shirts, comfortable clothing.
Yeah, this was
this
was
song
so
was
much
keep
fun.
playing over and over again. It was kind of like, you know what, this is like a good time. Sounds like a great time at a bar on a Friday night. People
and Eddie
were getting whooped and people were loving it.
God, where are you hanging out on Fridays? Good Lord, be careful out there.
No, I'm just saying, it just kind of reminded me of like a bar like atmosphere. People were getting in fights and people were like, yeah,
I love that the gas tank was the deal breaker of all the things they did to each other. Nothing else would, hey, wait a minute, gas tank's too far. Well, come on. But
setting someone on fire is a little more than just.
I loved how Eddie looked deranged. Like he was in that moment, like,
and I love that
burn this MFR up.
I love that they were not quick to forget the heat that he and Brian have had. I love that. I love that this is
Yes.
complicated. Real life, kids, spoiler alert, is complicated. Just because these guys, well, they're all babyface, Tom, does make a difference. They still got problems.
Yes.
Technically, it's complicated. So, no, Brian's not going to play nice, and Eddie's not going to play nice either. And I love that it's complicated. And I think if I had to call this, I
Poor
think
Mox just felt conflicted.
yeah, I
Both
think
of
what
his
you'll
friends were fighting.
I think what you'll see in the future at some point is one guy's going to be there for the other one in the worst time when he really needs a hand, and the other guy will return the favor, and they'll end this thing on a mutual respect level.
Nice.
But I don't think we'll get there for a while. So in the
No.
meantime, we might see some fun stuff happen with these two guys.
Mhm.
I love how, even though there was so much going on, all kinds of things going on, the crowd was chanting for Eddie.
Yeah, they stayed with him.
Yeah, they were doing yes chants and stuff, but they were still chanting for Eddie. And nobody can tell me that Eddie Kingston is not over. He is, and I just love his story. I love how it's being told, and for those like me and Tina and others that deal with mental illness, depression, and all that, I feel myself relating to him, and like, oh yeah, I know what that's like. He coming down looking deranged, and that, oh yeah, once I get to that mode, that's it. So like, yeah, I just, and I think a lot of times too that sometimes when you do go too far like Eddie does, that's why you have those conflicts and stuff like that. And I think that's, I think too that that's a nice touch, because that is something that happens in real life too.
Tina, I guess you can have a turn since I hear you're a fan of Eddie. So
Yeah, he's okay. No, I usually don't like matches like this because they usually just want to do things just for the sake of doing things. But everything made sense and everything was for a reason.
Mhm.
And
It was a war.
Especially with, I don't know, Tom, did you get to see the Eddie Kingston promo that they put up on their social media?
that was intense.
Incredible.
Yep.
Yes.
Incredible. So with knowing that leading in, Jericho, Chris, you led me to this dark place again. I'm sitting in dark rooms. I'm not calling my friends and family. I'm drinking again. You put me here.
Triggered.
I don't want to be here, and I can't get myself out of it. So I'm coming after you, and I cannot tell you what I'm going to do, and I can't stop myself. So just with that mindset coming into this match, and I'm not just saying this because I love Eddie, okay? It just makes sense, okay? So yeah, normally I don't like all the mess. But it made sense.
In this case, I think it was well done from start to finish. Tony Schiavone actually said this officially trumps Stadium Stampede. I don't know if y'all heard him say that or not.
I think I agree. In terms of, the first one was hard because that was an empty arena, empty stadium.
Yeah.
That's a bit tough.
Nothing they can help.
Yeah, no. But I mean, the crowd was everything they did. The crowd was into it. That is all you can ask for. If you have that, who cares about critics? Who cares about writers? Who cares about podcasters? If you had the crowd every second, that's all that matters. And they had that crowd. Yes. And it worked. It's all that matters.
Yeah. I put this on here. Maybe y'all agree with me. Maybe you not. I put this match was straight chaos. Hint, hint. Who's a member of the group Chaos in New Japan Wrestling?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So who you think? You think you're not thinking Okada, are you? I wouldn't
Okada and Danielson, perhaps.
Maybe, sure. I still want to see Okada and Punk. I really want to see that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think we'll see that too.
That's his two choices.
But yeah, I was like straight chaos.
Good.
To me, I like to finish Daniel Bryan Danielson. See, old habits die hard. Bryan Danielson passed out. So he really didn't submit. So I liked it like that. So that because he didn't go down without a fight. You know, he just passed out. So it's like you couldn't beat me. You just got ahead of me.
And Jericho had him in the walls, and Hager was choking him out all at the same time. So it's not like he looked weak.
For sure. No, it was fine. The ending's fine. Jericho and his guys should win. They should win. They need some quality wins. They need wins as a faction. There's no problem with that. Blackpool Combat Club have won a lot of matches. It's okay to lose this. They can always circle back and say, well, if it wasn't for, Danielson, if it wasn't for Danielson and Eddie getting into it, Brian's focus was off. They could say anything, but no, I have no problem with this. I haven't looked in the comments. If anybody's criticizing this, dude, come on. So
we have a lot of comments too.
I know. Do you need me to help you with those comments? Because I'm reading them and I'm like, why did she not bring them up? I don't want to ruin you.
Chris is saying Anarchy in the Arena could have been the main event of this pay-per-view. Yes.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
This match was amazing. The gas can was over. Yeah.
Yep.
Shannon says, I had a smile on my face the whole time. Matches like this make me proud to be a wrestling fan.
I agree.
Sarah and Tom, Shane is saying that Sarah needs to come on Tom Clark's main event.
I'm overdue.
Yeah, she is. I've been on there twice. Sarah hasn't been on there yet.
She was on the audio version, not video, twice. I think
it was a couple years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, but like every time I invite you, usually you're working all the time.
I know. And then like you invited me onto the show. I had popped up one night when you were live, and I was about to go to town, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to get with you after the show.
Yeah. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Now Friday I have to go see my mother, but
see, already with excuses. What's flesh and blood got to do with the main event? Come on, nothing. Are you kidding me?
Well, I can put it off till Saturday. I'll do that.
See that?
I'll do that for you, Tom.
That's the impact I have. See that? That's power.
Oh, Chris. Oh, I mean,
I love sporadic things.
No, that's not what I was looking for. Sorry. I still have my bet with Ron about Eddie Kingston being AEW champion in 2 years. I don't think so. Chris. Chris. Chris.
Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Oh, fight me!
I mean, that might be another topic for another day because we talked about this on another show, all of us. But all anyone needs in this business is the right amount of momentum, the right amount of fire, and anybody can be elevated to the world title, including Danhausen. And all it takes is a little bit of fire. And all it takes is a terrible joke I can make. I won't make it. But all it takes is just a handful of people to believe. And that belief can get contagious really quick. During the match with Anarchy in the Arena, I got physically more into it from hearing the crowd. Like I was physically, I'm like, God, this is really all the years I've been watching this stuff, writing about it, been in it, whatever. Like it still made me sit up a little bit straighter in the chair to watch. I'm like, man, this is like awesome because you hear the crowd. I mean, remember what the whole yes movement?
Yeah.
If you pulled against Daniel Bryan at that point, shame on you. Okay. Because that was a fever pitch kind of being over. One's going to sit here.
Contagious.
Yeah. One's going to sit here and tell me that Eddie can't get that, or maybe isn't on his way now, or that none of them can get. I defy anyone to prove me wrong. It could happen to any of them at any time. So no, I think it's absolutely possible Eddie gets that world title within 2 years, maybe sooner.
When you can make your entrance to someone else's music and be standing behind them the entire time and they are cheering for you and not the guy in the front, all the way down, you have them in the palm of your hand. That happened like last week or the week before when it happened last week when with Moxley and Eddie. I don't remember who they were wrestling. I think it was 2.0 or something. I can't remember.
I think so. I don't know.
I can't remember who it was that they were wrestling, but they played Moxley's music, and he, Moxley was in front, and Eddie was right behind him, and they were cheering for Eddie, not Moxley. So, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a big Eddie fan. I just think it's incredible.
It's fact.
How someone, because I'm in the same boat as you, Tom, and I think Sarah is too. We've been, commenting about this stuff forever. We write, so we're like, just like, most of the time when we're watching pro wrestling, we're like, pick. But when they can take you out of that and they can make you feel something like you did when you were a kid with The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, when they can make you feel like that again, they are doing something incredible.
Yeah.
It's magic. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, he's Eddie has something special. And Eddie has what Austin had, what Dusty had, what when he was Daniel Bryan had, what CM Punk had. And that is and what Austin had. When I say Austin, he has that this guy's not supposed to be here. They didn't really want him here. They don't want him on top. He's not what the company wanted. Mm-hmm. And plus, like all the guys I just mentioned, he looks like he might be your neighbor. He looks like he might be outside cutting his grass and he throws your hand up at him and he's got a beer in one hand and the mower in the other. He looks like a normal guy. People will always respond to the normal guy. I love John Cena. I love John. I always have. Mm-hmm. No one really looks like John Cena unless they're pro wrestlers. A lot of people look like Eddie Kingston. And that's a connection that you can't just – doesn't mean Eddie shouldn't get in shape. Kids, let's be honest. Eddie could stand to lose a few pounds. What I'm saying is, all right, what I'm saying is, though –
for his sake.
Sure. Yeah. What I'm saying is he's got something that you can't get it in the gym. A writer can't give it to you. You can't just find it. You either have it or you don't. He's got it. He's got a connection.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Passion and connection.
Yes.
Okay, I guess.
Eddie is definitely passionate, and Eddie's going to kick that door down too. Oh, I'm not supposed to be here.
He's in the right company. No other company's going to give him the chance he'll get there.
I just love what they're doing with him. I even tell my therapist all about him. Like, I send her the links and everything. Email. This is what I'm. She was like, "What?" She said, "That's awesome, though." I was like, "Yes, this is how we do."
It's hard for wrestling people to share stuff with non-wrestling people because a lot of times I get an expression like, "Okay, thanks, Tom."
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it made me feel good that she actually took the time to watch the promos and stuff, and like she was like, "That's really cool." I said, "This is how you get people to connect," and I said, "Stuff like what Eddie does, that needs to, this is needed." And May was Mental Health Awareness Month, guys.
It was.
Yep. So
I'll say one more thing before we move on, and to the comment before about not seeing Eddie as world champion. I think if they run with what Eddie has built for himself, if they actually get to that point and execute it, I think he will have a Mick Foley type moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
I can see that too.
Real quick, moving on. Andrade El Idolo says he's tired of the losers in the AFO and he's dumping their sorry butts, and he is aligning with Rush, who I have no idea.
Rush.
Okay, I don't know who
Rush.
he is. So I don't
All
watch Ring of
caps.
Honor or New Japan or wherever he's from. So
Oh, good. I'll take this one.
Okay,
Yeah,
go.
ahead,
Go.
because like I'm familiar, but I'm not.
Roosh is so good. Everything Roosh does looks like it's going to put you in the hospital. He hits so hard. He is intensity. He's scary. He's scary as hell to me. Excuse my English. He just looks like I would never cross this guy. And for all I know, he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. And he's sweet. He's sweet as honey. I don't know, but man, he's again, who really has it? Who has it? Roosh has it. He has it. He's tuned in. He knows exactly what this business is. He knows what he's good at, and he does those things. And he is crazy good. Again, intensity. Watching a Roosh match is like I think he was running an ROH was that he was dominating, and that he was when he hit it really hurts, and that he was unstoppable. He plays into that, and man, he looks good. And he and Andrade have a history with a Los Ingobernables.
Yes,
So, like,
Forbidden Door. That's right.
for sure. And I love that he's there. I'm so happy for that guy. I hope he's getting a good payday, maybe the best one he's ever gotten, hopefully for him. But not, I think everybody here, give it a month or so, and everyone's going to be talking about, dude, did you see Roosh on Wednesday night? Oh my God. So yeah, I think you're going to love him.
Andrade needed something to jumpstart a new direction here in AEW, and I think this is the right call. Because I feel like he kind of floundered a little bit, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping this is going to change all that. So I'm happy for him.
For sure. It's good. It's good. It's good for that company. Good for Roosh. I love that he's there.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome. I can't wait to see what he's all about. Michael has a good comment. People like a lot of people, but they love people they can associate with.
That's a great saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, Shane, you're getting more on the cheer list and off the boo list every day. If Hangman Page had Eddie's ability to talk, he would still be champion. I don't think Hangman Page is all that bad, but
No, me neither.
I forgot about this match until it came on.
I forgot about it too. I can't believe it was semi. I was like, whoa. I was surprised this was high up on the card. And that's no disrespect to anybody. It's just what everything else that's happening. You're like, oh gosh, I forgot about that.
Tag Team Championship with Jurassic Express versus Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland versus Team Taz.
Swerve in our glory. I love it.
Yeah. With Jurassic Express retaining, to my surprise.
Yeah.
It was a good match. I enjoyed it, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
this match did not suck by any means.
And the crowd was into it.
Yeah.
Even with what it had to follow, the crowd was still enjoying it. So good on them for keeping that, because I probably would have been absolutely exhausted after that Anarchy in the Arena and probably just been sitting there like this.
I'd have been like, all right, y'all got to go. we got to go home and go to bed. We old.
I was surprised Team Taz didn't walk away with the belts.
That's what I was expecting to win too.
Yeah.
Ricky Starks has something.
Yeah, he does.
I love him. Oh my god.
Did you see his little dance on the rope when he was walking
I said,
across
is that
it?
the new school? I love Ricky Starks. When Tom was having me watch NWA Power for the floor seat, that's how I discovered Ricky Starks. And immediately he stood out to me. I said, that's the new generation right there. That dude's a star. I love him.
He's got tremendous upside. I mean, it doesn't hurt that he draws comparisons to The Rock. It's not hurting that kid at all.
No.
So
he's got it.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, God, this company has so much talent. It is.
Yes.
It is. Look how much talent's in this match. I mean, Swerve Strickland's in this match with Keith Lee, and they're a tag team. What?
Swerve in our glory. I love it.
Swerve's just so good, man. Like they just got.
He's amazing too. Oh gosh.
You can't argue with the other company's talent level. They got a great roster, but AEW, my God. Yeah. They legitimately have probably in excess of 10 people they could put the world title on right now, and it would be okay with everybody.
Yeah,
legitimately 10 plus people. That's insane to be able to say that.
I agree, Harry. Ricky Starks is special.
Didn't Swerve do a moonsault off of Keith Lee's chest?
Yes, that was awesome.
That was great.
So good.
I love how he was looking at the camera and he was like,
Yeah.
I was like, that dude is oozing confidence, and that's so hot. Fangirl moment.
He's very good.
I was wondering when Ray Dean was going to find us. Adam Cole.
It's Ray all day. Ray all day has radar for Adam Cole.
We don't have an Adam Cole button on Ray. I'm sorry, but it's coming.
Ray wore the main event shirt to Rampage last Friday.
Nice.
Ray's my man. Sweet. So
he gets cool points from us.
Of course. Yeah. I think we're all just sitting back waiting on Christian to turn on Jurassic Express because it's coming. It's so coming.
Yeah.
Oh, we all know it. It's like waiting on Kevin Owens to betray his best friend. You know it's gonna happen. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, Christian's gonna turn on. It's just a matter of time.
Shannon says that she loves that the company takes care of and cares about the tag division, which they could have easily just had, like, this is the one thing WWE doesn't do. They could have had, like, say, all of these guys really floundering around in the singles division, but you ended up, you put them all together and they work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good to see. So yeah, I agree, Shannon.
Ray is saying he was at Double or Nothing.
Honestly, didn't know that. Good for you, Ray. I'm glad you got to see Adam Cole.
Did you have fun?
Oh yeah, Adam Cole won, so he had fun.
He said best crowd ever, so yeah. Yeah, this was a good match. I thought this would probably be lower on the card, and yeah, they had a tall order following Anarchy in the arena, and it was very, Jurassic Express, they just surprise me every time. Like, when I think they can't do something anymore, they just prove me wrong, and I love it.
There's so many stories and all these. This whole card is full of stories and possible stories they could spin out of it. I mean, there's a whole story to be told with Luchasaurus one day changing his name and taking the mask off. Yeah. There's a whole story to be told about maybe him leaving it on. But the story is, I'm tired of getting laughed at. Sick of this. I want to be taken as a contender. I want to be taken as a threat. As long as I'm on the card, I'm a threat. And so there's a whole story you could tell there. There's a story to be told with, obviously, Keith Lee and Swerve, which some companies choose not to tell. There's a whole story there for both of them. I mean, Powerhouse Hobbs, first off, looks like he's chiseled out of freaking rock, okay? But he's gotten better. I mean, Powerhouse was a little scary, kids, when we first saw him in that company. It's like, oh, God, you see him in the ring. It's like, oh, God, did he just kill somebody? But he's better, and he will only get better because he's surrounded by some of the best in the world. So
I really like the standoff with him, Keith Lee, and Luchasaurus. That was a great moment too. They had moments like that throughout too, and I want to see some more Swerve Strickland and Ricky Starks. Like, I'm all over that.
Yeah, good feud.
Yeah. I was, like I said, I was really surprised that Jurassic Express retained.
Yeah.
I was expecting Team Taz to take the titles. Chris has a good question. Who will be the next contenders for those tag titles?
Red Dragon.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's because I'm biased.
I was going to say FTR maybe, but they're such big baby faces right now. I would probably keep them away from that. But yeah, Red Dragon is a good idea.
I think you could say Rush and Andrade.
Oh, that would be good too.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Shannon says, I want to see Santana and Ortiz get the tag titles next. It's long overdue, and they are too good to not be in the title picture.
I agree.
I agree. I think that they should go, hey, Eddie, I love you, man, but we're tired of fighting everybody else's battles. We need to fight our own
Yeah.
and just go off on there and do that. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
We have finally made it, everybody, after an hour and a half.
I blame the cat.
Yeah.
I don't even know where she is. She's not even here, y'all.
She's like, oh wait, the cat's not. Is she dead? What happened? Like, yeah.
Yes, she's not even in here. She's not making no noise. No,
It's when they don't
went
make
to
noise.
bed.
It's like
I hope she
kids.
did.
When you don't hear noise, like, oh God, what are they doing?
Oh yeah. Shannon goes, it's time for the main event.
I got to put that on my show. I've been asked to put that on my show. I might put it on my show.
Yeah, you got to.
Mm-hmm.
It is Tom Clark's main event. You got to.
Right? What more can you say about CM Punk, kids? He is, I just, the guy is, and I don't want to use the words living legend. I think that's overdone. And I think maybe it's a little bit too grandiose, right? But the guy can have a 5-star rock solid pro wrestling match with anybody because he's just that good. And that gets overshadowed because people want to talk about, oh, if he's so good, how come AEW only has under 1 million people? Shut up. People don't understand how economics work in pro wrestling, but they just don't know because some people are dumb. Let's face it. A lot of people are dumb. But the truth of the matter is he's brought them so much more than probably they even know. And the guy is just automatic. I can name on one hand the number of times I've seen him really, really have a rough to bad match. One hand, personally. I mean, Page is better today, in my opinion, for having worked Punk, even if he lost. I don't think it makes a difference. I think he's better now than he was before. And ask Page what he thinks, he'd probably agree with me. I'm a little bit better today than I was before we worked.
I put on here that both of them winning this match was something to prove. Both of them have incredible backstories. This is why we love pro wrestling, guys.
Yeah.
And I feel like both of them gave the max effort in gaining the upper hand. This was a battle. And I had to write this down because y'all know I'm such a fangirl. Heyman's got some pretty eyes. I couldn't help but notice that. It was an epiphany. But this was an awesome match.
Yeah, I put on. I made a lot of notes on this one too. I think that him losing the title is going to be bigger for him than actually winning it. I think it's going to tell a bigger story because if you listen to Tony Schiavone at the end, he threw in a line, and I don't know if anybody caught it, but he talked about how Hangman had this inner battle with his conscience when he was holding the title and he was about to hit Punk with it, and he decided against it and he threw it out, and his attention was drawn away. CM Punk capitalized that, and he was able to win the match. And it said Tony said he had an inner conflict with his conscience, and it costed him the biggest prize in our business. That line is going to tell the whole story of what is next for Hangman Page. So I think it's going to do a whole lot more for him than actually winning the title back in November. And that was a huge moment too. So
it was. And I think Heyman's just fine. I think there's going to be a lot more he can do. I don't think he's done by any means. No. I mean, if we're going to be fair about it, I take digs at a certain other company because I think it's well-deserved. But if you really want to call people out, you could say, look, they've had 5 champions in just under 3 years. That seems like a lot to me. 3 of their 5 champions were already well-established on their way to the Hall of Fame, and 2 of them are homegrown, basically. So is that fair? I don't know. But I think they're just fine with their championship right now. I really do. I mean, it's if it were on anybody but Punk, would I think the same thing? I don't know. It depends on who we're talking about. But Punk's been there for 8 months, hasn't even been close to the world title. So, I still think it's okay. I mean, and plus, this is history here because Punk is the first guy to have been ROH World Champion, as well as WWE and WWE World Champion, and now AEW World Champion. He's the only guy to do that. So
Yeah.
that's saying something.
Well, and the fact is that CM Punk could have walked in there day one, challenged for the title, won it, and no one would have really questioned that.
Mm-hmm.
Not on a believability.
He even said in that
standpoint.
promo video, it was almost expected
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
But the fact that he wanted to build up his AEW persona first and be able to get in there and earn
Work
work
new talent and everything. I mean, I'm not mad at it at all. I mean, you knew it was coming, and either way, it was a great story to be told because everybody knows Punk's story.
Mm-hmm.
And Punk's promos are different than a lot of other people's. Eddie's are different because they're very guttural. They're very from the inside. It's almost like you can picture him slapping himself in the face, socking himself up to give a promo. Like he has to physically feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Punks are very disarming in as much as they're not really rehearsed, but they're not really Dusty Rhodes either. They're somewhere in between where it's like I'm talking right. This is CM Punk's promo, what I'm doing right now. It's very conversational. He's not yelling. He's not screaming. He's not using huge words that have 20 letters apiece. Doesn't have to. He's
very matter of fact.
Very matter of. This is how he cuts promo. And I love that because it works for him. The best men and women in this business are over and stay over and have major success because they do what works for them. And he knows what works for him. He doesn't try to do. He's not ever anybody else. He's just himself. And it works. And like, I can't say enough good things about the guy for what he can do in the ring. I mean, I think he would probably be the first one to beat himself up going back through the curtain if something sucked. I don't think anybody ever had to call him out. Never had to worry about that. He'd be the first one to take the blame and say, "Oh, that's on me," because he's done it before. So, like, yeah, I think it's a smart move putting him on him. Now the question is, who's his first challenger? How soon is it MJF? If MJF stays, how soon do they put the belt on MJF in a bid to maybe not have him leave? Don't know if it'll get that far. Be interesting to find out.
Yeah, who would be his first challenger? We have Forbidden Door coming up at the end of next month.
Mm-hmm.
I see Adam Page doing one more match with him. And then Forbidden Door, I don't think any titles should be on the line. I think it should just be a so-and-so versus a so-and-so.
It'll be bragging rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We'll be seeing a whole lot of dream matches, and hopefully it'll rock.
Yeah.
AEW costing us a lot of money, but it's worth it.
I'm for it. I love it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, overall the show was good. But God, it was long.
Yeah, it was
long.
Yeah.
I think, I think they wanted everybody on the card, and I get that. So, Chris, do you think Punk will hold the belt until Omega gets back?
Good call. Could be.
Yeah. Punk should win.
That'd be an interesting match. Omega and Punk.
Yes.
I like this company because you get to see stuff you've never seen before. That's different. That's new.
And too, a lot of times you don't have like 3 or 4 different matches. Like if you have multiple people in matches, you don't have them facing somebody, this person that kind of like how they did on Raw with Bianca and Asuka and Becky. I'm sitting there like, I like the fact that you're not seeing them fight until they need to. Mm-hmm. Whether it's the main event of Dynamite or Double or Nothing, or something. I like the fact that this is built up. You're ready to see them fight. Like, all right, it's go time. Y'all have plenty of time. Let's go, But we're kind of already seeing all that play out. That was something that I kind of just wanted to point out.
My goodness. Oh, no. I wonder how this went. Ray got to meet Adam Cole while he was at Double or Nothing. I bet that was something.
I haven't seen that pick yet, Ray. I gotta go look.
Yeah.
Picks or it didn't happen.
Shane says he was highly disappointed with the ending of this match. Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole gave him better matches. I thought the match was fine. Of course, I was halfway paying attention to it too, because by the
You need to
I
check
finally
out
got to
Shane's
it, it
next
was-
comment, Tina.
Shane's next comment.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I see that.
His top 5 contenders. I'm telling you, he's really getting cookie points with Tina.
Yeah, he's trying to get on the cheer list. You know, he's been on the boo list for so long. Hangman Page mocks Bryan Danielson, Eddie Kingston, Adam Cole. Everybody else before Eddie Kingston be the last one, so he could, and that's from an extremely biased position, and I am not afraid to say it.
You know, we were talking about that earlier. What if it was Kingston and Punk? They always take jabs at each other and stuff. It'd make for some good TV. I know that.
It'd be interesting. I mean, I think the big takeaway here is that there's options.
Yeah.
Yes.
They can go anywhere they want to with this. They don't
Yeah.
have to go one direction because they've only got one other guy that they depend on. They've
Yeah.
got
they
multiple
have
options.
one direction that they have to go in for my sake, but other than that,
Of course.
I'm just kidding.
No. I mean, but it's
No,
that,
I'm
but
not.
they
Not
but they
really.
Hey,
can
it's valid.
they can go with him and it'll be fine because it makes sense.
Right.
And you know, Kingston. All right. So look, call it for what it is. I really boasted on Kingston earlier, and I'm going to stick to that. Kingston beating Okada. No, you
No.
can't do that. In my
No.
opinion, you can't do that. Kingston
No.
beating Bryan Danielson in a straight up pro wrestling match, probably not. But if you make anything a brawl, if you say all bets are off, if you add anything to the mix, then Kingston has a fighting chance with anybody they put him in the ring with. So that's saying something. That's why he's so dangerous. It'd be one thing if the character doesn't have a match style or he's kind of 50-50 booking, whatever. He's not. If you put him in the right environment, he can get a pin on probably just about anybody. It has to be done right. Has to be
Yeah.
believable. And I would think that Eddie would want it to be believable too, not just
Yeah.
me. But no, I still maintain he could believably beat Punk and it would make sense.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you know, and then he's been having these feuds with Jericho, and he's been in the ring with Punk before. So, I mean, I feel like in a way it is, you know, it is stepping stones to something bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be it. And because I know when the day that Eddie Kingston becomes AEW champion, that place is going, I mean, wherever it is, the fans are going to pop big. They're going to explode.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, because this is somebody that people are rooting for. They want to see him win. It's like you said earlier, he looks like your ordinary guy. Oh, he shouldn't be here, blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, I definitely think it can happen.
Wherever it is, I will guarantee you one thing. Somebody's going to make sure she's there to see it in person. Yeah, we'll just go together. How's that, Sarah?
Yeah.
All right, we have a few more comments before we send everybody home because we've been here for almost 2 hours, and I'm sure everyone is tired by now. My friend Molly is in the chat. I'll just bring her up for a second. Love you too. Ray is saying that I look like I'm 12.
Should you
quite
take
a
that
bit
as a
away.
compliment or
He's
a
always trying. He tells me all the time I look 15. He's just complimentary.
Okay. Well, I'll take it as a compliment because I'm quite a distance away from 12. So Shane says, I would like to see CM Punk have another title match on Dynamite against Colt Cabana.
awkward?
Shane's just being cheeky.
Yeah.
So, and I love taking people to task. And Shane, you know I love you. If that were to happen, you can just about be guaranteed that both these guys would be professional. I defy anybody to tell me I'm wrong. There's one thing to have beef outside the ring. There's another thing to go in the ring and to go into business for yourself, because nobody wants to work the guy that does that.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody does. I'll tell you for sure. When you find out the guy that you're going to work tonight went into business for himself last night, the first thing you're going to do is take him aside and say, dude, you need to talk to me. We have a problem. I'm not getting in there with you if we're not going to cooperate. I mean, that's a big deal. So no, I don't think for a second anything funky would happen. I see where the sense of humor is coming from, but I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, I saw something on Roman made a comment that, he really didn't like CM Punk as a person, but but if it's in the ring and it's, it was something to that effect, but if we're in the ring, it is good business or whatever, you're going to remain professional. And that's what it reminded me of when you said that, because Roman did make a comment about that in terms of CM Punk.
I don't think it would happen. I don't think it would happen within the time frame, because Colt Cabana is lost. We don't even know where he is. He's in the Dark Order, but the Dark Order is gone almost. So they would have to do a whole lot of work. He would have to repackage himself and start coming out there and just, get into it, because he is not in the position to be challenging for the world title right now with how they've been where he's at. So
no, I'd like to see Dark Order get, they need a rebuilding, I think.
I think they just need to say goodnight on the Dark Order, but that's just me.
Ordinarily, I don't know if I disagree with that take, but I am this time. But simply because everyone knows the story between Colt and Punk. Wouldn't take much. All you'd have to do is have Colt cut a promo where he says, everybody knows what's going on. I need a moment. You and I need to hash this out for real. And then that's all it would take. I think that'd be enough to get a match on TV for a title shot. It could be a throwaway match. It doesn't have to lead to a title change or even a program. But I think there's enough there to get a match. I think there's enough there to get a match, get people excited, because fans know the truth, or at least they think they do, about what happened behind the scenes. Okay. So there's enough for a match. Is there enough to make Colt champ? Probably not. You're right.
No, absolutely. No.
But part of the rumor going around now is that they're going to flesh out this ROH thing, and Colt's home is going to be there, if for no other reason than because of the Punk thing. So we'll see. Ray all day's got his typical comment up there. He gets these things prepared ahead of time.
With if Adam Cole came over with chicken soup and there was extra, could I have some? But after, if I wanted ice cream, could I have it as well? I don't know. Well, right now I can't have ice cream, so because it's dairy and dairy has fat, and so I can't have ice cream right now. So
it's too hot for chicken soup.
Yeah.
I mean, the three of us live in the South. I live further south than any of them. It's too hot. It's not in season, man.
I'm eating chicken soup right now because it's one of the few foods that I can eat at the moment. So
nothing wrong with chicken soup.
No.
For me, I got to do the music part. I got to play along with Ray. He's my boy. Okay. Snoop for sure. I'll never pull against DMX ever. And absolutely, Ray, I'll share the food with you and yours for sure. So he always gets prepared. And the audience waits for Ray's tweet at the end of the show every week without fail. So
Shane.
Oh, Shane. Tita, if it was you managing Eddie Kingston and Sarah was in the corner of Jericho,
because I'm a wizard,
you distract Sarah and cause Jericho to lose? Absolutely. Because my boy Eddie Kingston has to win every match he's involved in. This is how it works.
Maybe I could turn on Jericho for ruining his face or his eyebrows.
The most.
I'll be like,
eyebrows and
I'm the real wizard.
Poof. That I'm a wizard stuff is freaking great.
I love how they have it on the name thing where it says the wizard Chris Jericho. I think that's great.
Oh,
it's hilarious.
Talking about Punk, do you guys remember in WWE when was with Heyman, and they, for some reason, they started calling Punk a doctor. And he said, well, that's right. You can believe me because I'm a doctor. And Heyman would go, well, of course, because he's a doctor. And they both did it straight face every time. They only did it for a few weeks there. But I popped off that so hard because I'm like, that's so good because it's so dumb. And what Jericho's doing is so dumb. But I guarantee you it popped like one person or whatever. They're like, oh,
He
my God,
makes
you
it
have to
work.
say that. Yeah.
That's the
Say
thing
it
about
next week.
Jericho is he can get the stupidest thing on the planet over like
Yeah.
hotcakes.
The
It's
list.
like that one time.
The list.
Who was he fighting?
It.
I can't remember who it was. But he was like banned from ringside or something, so he bought a ticket so he could be in the stand. And he was like, I got a ticket. I got a ticket. Was it John Moxley?
Maybe so.
I don't remember who it was, but it was hilarious.
He's so good. I don't think we bragged enough on Jericho in this show. Jericho, you know,
we don't. We love Jericho here.
Jericho's got some faults outside the business, kids. There's some weird associations there I'm not going to go into. But in terms of entertainer in the ring,
one of the best.
Yeah.
He really is.
All right, lovely little peaches. We have to say goodbye because it's been 2 hours. And all of us
I had fun, though.
And it's time for bed. It was a lot of fun. Chris, I'm ignoring that comment. I don't think my actual husband, Adam, would be very appreciative of that, so we're going to ignore it. All right, so we want to thank Tom for being with us. He's been with us since day one, literally, because he was on our very first episode.
That's right.
And thank you for coming on and
Sure.
going over the show. We had a good time. And thank you guys for joining us. This is probably one of our biggest crowds yet. And we are excited. We have a special guest for this month. We won't quite tell you who it is yet in case they cancel like they always do. So we're going to leave it at that. You guys have a good night. Tom, you got anything to plug before we go?
Tom Clark's main event, which is, I'm still trying to find a good time slot for it. But for the past few weeks, it's been Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern. It looks like it might be that again this week. And also Tom Clark's 6M podcast, which is movies, music, Marvel, magazines, miniseries, and more. This past Tuesday's episode was the Multiverse of Madness. And we cover an eclectic mix of stuff. We cover everything under the 6Ms and then some. And it's a fun show. So I endorse both. I mean, I do them both, so I'm going to push them. But there you go.
Awesome.
And they're on all the major platforms. And I'll give you guys a shout out while I'm here. It's real easy to say, hey, I'm going to do a podcast. And I've had people hit me with that over the years. I'm like, all right, we'll see. And then they just disappear. But it's another thing altogether to say, I'm going to do a podcast and I'm actually going to do it. You guys know, I'm sure there's been a lot of weeks you're like, I don't feel like doing this. I'm tired. But you know what? I'm committed to this. And once you commit to it, I mean, you got to do it. You're promising your audience, and you guys are maintaining. So kudos to both of you. I'm proud of both of you. You guys have come a heck of a long way. So yeah.
Thank you.
Peaches and Power
thanks to
Bombs
you.
is a year old too. Now we've been
There
here
you
for a whole
go.
year, so
Awesome.
Yep.
we're
Well done.
learning
Thanks
how to
to you,
walk.
Tom. Why we're here? So
I love you guys. You know that. So
I love you. Too.
kudos to you.
All right.